Yay, hey, and welcome. Me and Stephanie have been breaking into Rachel's house and to her YouTube channel, and we're gonna do a little class for you guys. It's not gonna be the typical Rachel class here at Ray Story, it's gonna be a pregnancy yoga class. And it's gonna be a class made for all of you moms out there, moms to be. And it's also going to be a class that you could do when you are postpartum. I am postpartum. My baby is now 2 months old and she's behind the camera, not filming, of course, but sleeping. So if she wakes up, you might also get some boob in on this class, which here in Sweden is fairly like okay. So in America, like good luck. Just hope they will continue to have this video up. So as I was saying, we have gorgeous Stephanie here lying in this like goddess chair pose. And my idea is that I'm gonna have a short intro talk, and after that we're gonna go straight to the class. So if you'd like to do this many times, you could just skip me talking right now and just go to the class. So Stephanie is in this pose, and if you're gonna go here, it's very good if you have blocks and a bolster. If you don't, use pillows, use blankets, books. Yoga doesn't have to cost anything really, it's your practice, right? But what it's important here is that we don't want her to be all flat on her back, because that extra weight and the baby is going to push on your aorta and you might get dizzy or feel like you need to vomit. So we don't want that, right? So make sure you have a little tilt up. You want to have this nice opening of the hips. And you see here also she has decided to like just rest her arms down. You could also, if you want to, have your palms open and you just spread them out like this. You get a nice opening of the shoulder. Okay, so before we start, here's the short intro. Pregnancy yoga, there's so much to say, really. But okay, so when can you start doing pregnancy yoga? I usually recommend people, if they want to come to my classes, that they start after maybe week 12 or 14, like when the first trimester is done. And why is this? The first trimester is very special. It's for many people the hardest one. Maybe you suffer from nausea, or you don't really know if this is like, maybe you've been longing to have a child so much, so now you're just afraid of losing it, or you don't know if you want this child or not, and you and your partner, or you are in this sort of debate with yourself. So the first trimester is very special and very difficult, and it's also the time where we have the least amount of support. We don't go and see our midwife that often, and we tend to not share it with our loved ones. And then you can't even come to yoga. So what I would tell people is like meditate, long walks, and then talk about it. Maybe you don't want to tell your boss, and you don't have to like put it out on Facebook, but share it with your friends. Let people know, because if it comes to the fact that you have a miscarriage, you would also want to share that with your loved ones, right? So that's like my little take on first trimester. So everyone who's here that's in first trimester, you can also just look at this video and get inspired. And maybe if there's something you feel like, I want to do that pose, or I just want to like sit and meditate and watch this gorgeous woman practice, you're welcome. And everyone else who's pregnant out there, it doesn't matter then if you're in week 13, 14, or if you are 41 and you're about to like, okay, I need to get delivered now. This is a class that you can do every day of your pregnancy, or 2 times a week, or maybe just do it once. So yoga is something that you could really do. Another thing that's important to look at is that many people are new to yoga and then like, I heard pregnancy yoga is really good when you're pregnant. Then you must really see that during the time of pregnancy, it's not the time when you build the muscle. It's not the time when you are going to get more flexible. It's more the time where you maintain where your body is at, okay? So, and also if you are used to yoga, it's not the time for like, oh, now I'm gonna work a lot on my arm balances. So pregnancy yoga is really something else. It's a chance for you to connect with yourself, your changing body, with your baby, and also to prepare yourself for going into birth, right? And the postpartum phase when you're gonna also have your little baby with you. So enough talking. We're gonna talk while we're practicing. Very, very welcome. And by the way, my name is Antonia. So we're actually gonna get Stephanie out of this very, very nice position. And you can either start there and pause the camera or pause the film and start here, or this could be a pose you do whenever you feel like you want to just have some restorative calmness. So Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to slowly come out of the position. Welcome back to this room, to your body. So you see she slowly moves out of the position by putting her knees together and slowly coming her way up. So I'm gonna be her little prop cheerleader also. Otherwise, if you don't have a teacher there with you, just make sure you have a clear mat and that you have a blanket or a bolster or something to sit on. So Stephanie can come and sit on the blanket just to make sure you have good space. We want to come up on our tush a little bit so that you get this nice forward fold, forward tilt of your hips. And then we just close our eyes. We try to center ourselves, and you can decide where your hands go. If they come naturally on your baby, just hold your hands there or relax your hands down on your knees. So start to let go of the day. Start to let go of what's coming after you practice. Start to let go of maybe all the dishes you need to do around the house, or stop thinking about what you're going to eat later on. Just try to be here in your body right now. Just feel the magic and the wonder of carrying another human being inside of you. This blessed state that, even if it's wonderful and amazing, can be so challenging. And start to connect deeper with your breath, with your inhales and your exhales. So when you breathe, not only do you make the blood become oxygenated and you give this to your child, of course, but also your breath is actually creating like a sound space and also give movements to your child. So it's like you're rocking it with your inhales and your exhales. And when we do pregnancy yoga, we don't want this classical ujjayi breath. We don't want this like deep breathing, because we want to prepare ourselves for giving birth. And when we give birth, we want to have a very soundless, easy breath. So you don't have to stretch the inhales and exhales too long, and you don't have to like make it sound, because we don't want the stress response of our nervous system to go into like fight and flight or go into freeze. So just keep this kind of subtle but yet deep breathing. And before we go on to moving a little bit more, we can make our hands come together, our palms come together in front of our chest. And we're gonna do the sound of Om, also because babies love when we are vibrating. So take a deep inhale, a complete exhale, and inhale for an Om. Stay in your own vibration. Inhale, and on your next exhale, just come down with your hands next to you. And then we inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms up and over our head. Yes, look up on your hands and exhale, come down again. Good. So we continue this. We inhale, the arms comes up. Good, and exhale, hands down. So Stephanie can continue this movement, just letting your breath and your body flow together. And you just, you can continue beautifully. So it's a very simple movement, it's a very simple breath. And this pose can be actually really interesting because what you're doing is that you're working these muscles. And why do we need to tone these muscles? Because soon you're gonna have a baby and you're gonna be like this, and you want to come out of that and be more like here, okay? So try as you lift your arms up to squeeze your shoulder blades together, hug them in towards your body. Beautiful. Next time that you come up with your hands, let them stay here. We just hold our arms up. We let the shoulders come down. Good. Just feel your arms and see if you can feel the side of your body. We're going to make some space for you and for the baby. So take your right hand and let your right hand hold on to your left wrist and just move over, coming over to your right. Beautiful. We stay here, and it's this part here you want to open. And at the same time, you don't want to collapse on your right side, so you have this lift up. Beautiful. Exhale and inhale, come up to center. You shift side, you inhale and you exhale over to the left side. So you want to lift and open and breathe and relax the shoulders down. Beautifully. So Stephanie, I asked her before, isn't suffering from any real so much pains when she opens up and straddles like this. But if you do, you can also sit on your feet or have your legs out straight. This is totally up to you. So listen more to yourself than you do to me. Okay. And we inhale here and we exhale. We let our hands come down on our shoulders. We inhale over to our left side and we exhale over to the right. And we continue the position, so you can just continue going, Stephanie. And here you can decide if you want to do it slow or if you want to do it quick. So you exhale and inhale. In this position, they have done research on it. It's really good for your breast making. You see, also being postpartum makes you not so smart. So my English is very bad. I'm so sorry. But the thing is, my Swedish is also very bad. Good. And the next time you come over to your left side, you can take your left hand, have it down on the floor, and your right hand on your knee. You inhale, you lift your chest, you exhale, and you twist. You don't want your shoulders up here, you want your shoulders down, you want to lift your chest. And it's a very easy twist, but just feel that you have that connection with your spine. Sometimes you lose that connection because there's so much other juiciness going on. We exhale and we inhale to the front. And then we exhale into the twist on the other side. And every breath is actually an opportunity for you to come deeper into the pose and to expand more in your body. So as she inhales, she can like really come up in this long, tall position, and as she exhales, she can twist deeper. So even if the practice is very slow, it's still got dynamics because of the breath. Beautiful. Exhale and inhale back to center. And we're gonna, what are we gonna do now? We're gonna inhale, and we are again gonna lift our hands and place them on our shoulders where we were before. But instead of moving side to side, we're gonna just circle our shoulders. So breathing and circling of the shoulders, good. And then we just change sides or change the way the arms are going, and we're breathing. And we are relaxing our face, because when you give birth, you want to look like this. You want to look like you are not very smart then either. You drop your jaw. Very important to drop your jaw and your lips. Good. So we've been moving in our shoulders. Now we're going to let the shoulders be a bit more firm. We're going to put our hands down on our knees, and instead we're going to start a spiral in our hips. So first we make it kind of a small movement. And you see she has the belly. So how could you move with your belly? And where do you want to go? You start to making the spiral bigger and bigger. And if you need to work on your knees and if your hips hurt, you can just do small circles. And then you start to make them as big as you can. Beautiful. And then from these big circles, you continue doing them big, but you change sides. So you come on to the other side. Beautiful. Moving, massaging your pelvis, and continue having these breaths that are quiet and slow. And then you start making the circle smaller and smaller. It's like you're spiraling in towards your spine again. And eventually you will be the only one feeling this spiral in your body. You can close your eyes. Taking some breaths, just sitting here in the magic that you are, carrying life. Beautiful. And as you exhale, you open up your eyes. And you come over standing on all fours, standing on your knees. Great. So if you don't have a cheerleader to take away your blankets, you do it them yourself. Here, just make sure you have your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. So you can even move your knees a bit forward. Great. Spread your fingers. And we can just start by tapping out our feet. So you can just tap your feet on the floor, waking them up. Good. And then from here we go into cat-cow position. But as we do that, when you go into the opening into cow, you don't want to go fully. You just stay here because you don't want to like give more weight in there. And then as you exhale here, Here you can go fully, really press up. This is a beautiful position. And then you continue, inhale, not fully, good, and exhale all the way. So we continue the position, moving on your own, following your breath. Baby still sleeping? Yes. This is one of my favorite positions to do, both pregnant, non-pregnant, because you really can get so much nice stretching, and you can really like just get this calming sensation with a lot of action. See if the baby's waking up. Good. And next time you can inhale and just come to a straight back. Good. Here you want to imagine that your sit bones are going into the wall behind you and your head going into the other wall in front of you. So you want to have this really long spine. And you might even press the spine up a little bit. So push your back into my hand. Beautiful. So from this very steady space, we want to inhale and lift the right leg back and the left arm in front of you. Good. Here you want to push your heel back and your toes down and your big toe going in towards the center line of your body. You want to lift your arm. You want to have your shoulder come back, and you want to continue pushing up into my hand here, Stephanie. Good. We stay in the position. If this is a lot for you, if you're experiencing pain in your hips or in your pubic bone, you can also just drop your foot down on the floor. We just do it for the camera, Stephanie, like this. Great. But if you can, you stay here and you hold, and you can even start sweating here. It's you feel it. And what you want to do here is really hug the muscles into the center of the body. We take a deep inhale. Good. Exhale down with your knee and your hand, and just shake and wiggle a little bit, just moving side to side, feeling how nice it is to be in your juicy body. Then coming to center, finding that strength. Beautiful work on the spine. And we go to the other side. So lifting the left leg up and the right arm forward. So same thing here. Kick the heel back. Engaging, lifting up. Arm up. Coming in and down here. Beautiful. And we stay and we breathe. And why do we want to do this? Because we really want to strengthen this whole area. Because with the extra weight and the shift of your pelvis when you're carrying the baby, you will lose a lot of these muscles. And you will also go more forward, and you want to like come back into the center of your body. So we stay and we breathe. So we see if we get. Should I take the baby? Does she want a nurse? Yeah. Okay. Yay. Good. And we exhale and we come down, and you move. You wiggle your body side to side. Free movements. Enjoying being in the body. And then we're gonna. Now it's booby time. Now we're gonna do the same position as we did, but we're gonna do one breath, one movement. It's time to get naked or or to just stay wiggling, moving around. Yay, look at that beautiful belly, that beautiful baby. It's really awesome and magical. Pregnancy, it's so cool. This is my third baby. I'm still like, wow. This is. Yeah, so then you stay here and you do one. As you inhale, you lift the right leg and the left arm. Good. And then you exhale and you come down. So it's one breath, one movement, and you change side. Beautiful. And we stay here a couple of breaths. So continue the movement, a couple of breaths. Good. Inhaling as you lift up and exhaling down. And this position, I must also say, when you're postpartum, continue doing this one. Because then also when your baby start to crawl, it's a great to just be a lot on the floor with your baby. And it connects the left and the right hemisphere together. Beautiful. So when you have done equally on both sides, then you come down on all fours again. And we do some free movements, just shaking things out, wiggling around. Good. And now we're going to do a little exercise, also preparing for our birth. We're going to open up our knees and your feet stay more together. So open up your knees. You're standing on all fours. Good. Then you're going to inhale here. Good. And as you exhale, you move your hips down back into child's pose. Good. So we're gonna do this, but we're gonna move in it. So you're gonna again, Stephanie, inhale, coming up. And this time as you exhale down, you wanna go like, so we're preparing for birth. Good, do that 2 more times. As you inhale, you create energy, and as you exhale, you relax down. Sounding when you're giving birth is also very important. And you exhale. Good. And you stay here in child's pose. So stay in child's pose, and I'm going to just tell you why you want to sound when you're giving birth. You will, no matter what. But you don't want to come into that high-pitched note like, ah! You want to go into that, lower registry. Do you say registry?
Lower register.
Register, because register is like when you...
That too.
Okay, good. So you're going to go there because that will give you power and help both the baby to calm down, but it's also going to help your nervous system. Because what you don't want when you deliver a baby is for your body to think that something is wrong, okay? Because you want the body to do the work. But if your brain is alerted by you breathing like like they do in American movies, I'm sorry, America, or if you stress your body in any other kind of way by screaming really high-pitched, the body's going to think that, oh my God, there's a lion coming eating us up. I can't deliver a baby. And you won't deliver a baby unless you tell the body, this is okay. This is good pain. This is sweet pain. So you calm the nervous system down with a calm breath and with going into those like, parts, okay? When I gave birth, I was like, what's that moose in the room making that funny noise? It was me. Okay. So from here, we're going to stretch our arms forward. And we're going to see if we can come up into a little sweet downward facing dog. For some women, downward facing dog isn't at all an option. It makes you burp or it makes you have the refluxes. Then stay on all fours. Okay. And we're going to do a little pregnancy version of a sun salutation. So Ruby, say hi to the camera and let's see if you can do some yoga with us. Yeah. Do you want to go to Aunt Rachel? Yay. Okay, so from here, we're going to move our hands back to our feet. So you walk your hands back. Good. You plant your feet. You take hold of opposite elbow and you relax down. Try to shift your weight forward so you get this beautiful tilt of the pelvis and this long neck. So you want to have a slight bend of your knees. Good, beautifully. And as you inhale, you're slowly going to start rolling up one vertebra at a time. So slowly starting to roll up, letting the head be the last thing that comes up. Great. And then we just walk to the front of our mat. Good. So we prepare for our sun salutation. We exhale. And then we inhale. We let the arms come up and over our head. We look up. We exhale and we fold down. So as we fold down here, we're going to just stay here. You can walk your hips a little bit wider, your feet a little bit wider if you want to. Bend your knees. Good. And then here we're going to inhale and you're going to lift your heart up and you're going to look up, halfway up. Good. And then exhale down. And we do that 2 more times. We inhale up, looking up, bend your knees, don't overstretch them, good. Exhale down. 1 more time, inhale up and lift up a little bit more. Here you start to engage the muscles beautifully. And we exhale down. Bend your knee and come all the way down on all fours. So come, step back into standing on all fours, good. Here we inhale up, look up, don't overstretch. Good. Exhale into cat pose, so you really let your back come up. Good. 1 more time. Inhale. And here you can go to downward facing dog, or you can just stay working in cat-cow. Do you want to be on camera, Ruby? Is that what it is? You're like...
She's a star.
She's a star, right? Beautifully. And here you can really make the position what you want of it. You could make it very like fierceful downward facing dog, or you can just be more in relaxing. But just remember to calm down your breath. Okay, it's more booby time on YouTube. Very discreet? Okay, good. She has a lot of hair. Good. So we're going to walk our hands back toward our feet. Just hanging out here, dropping the head down. It's so cool we're hanging out in Rachel's living room. And with these beautiful wolves and this beautiful lady. Yeah, it's working here in Sweden in November. We need a lot of sun salutations. Good. We're going to exhale and slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Good. And then slowly moving to the front of your mat. Going to do just 1 more round. We exhale and we inhale. We lift our arms up and over. We exhale and we dive down. We inhale halfway up, looking up, and we exhale, place our hands down all the way and come back into all 4. Good. We take just an inhale, look up, and exhale, push that spine up. Good. And then from here we inhale and we come to just a straight spine, and we're gonna come down lying on our back. So for some women, lying on our back is not an option. I knew for me it felt really bad. So we're going to go straight into the pose. We're going to bend our knees and place our feet down. We're going to exhale and then we're going to inhale and lifting our hips up. So good. And then exhale, placing them down. Again, inhaling, lifting up. Exhale down. 1 more time, inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling down. Great. From here, we're going to come lying on our side. So if you come over with your knees on the side. Good. And Stephanie here is very open and movable, even if her belly is very big. Rachel went like So you could do a lying twist. Yes, you can do a lying twist. So we come into a lying twist, but instead of the typical when you in normal yoga you start like from the back, you go there. You want to start lying on your side because you want to really check in where you are. So from here we're going to come into our twist. So we're going to open up our right arm. You have a lot of blocks there, honey, and we're going to twist our hand open. Yes. And just staying here and breathing. This is also a great position to nurse in. I do a lot of these stretches in bed at night. You know, everyone else is sleeping and you're awake with your baby, but you could do yoga like at 2 in the night. No night clubbing, but yoga and nursing. This is also one of my favorite positions. When you're pregnant, you just want to twist out that spine. Good, you exhale and you inhale and you slowly come up to center again. If you want to, you can push your feet down and just lift your hips up a little bit. Good, and then slowly coming over to the other side, so stretching out. So you see she has a pillow, and here she gets this really nice opening of her shoulders. If you're not there, if it's hard with everything going on in your body, you can also put a blanket or support under. Then you're just breathing slow breaths into your body. And we're slowly gonna come back to center again, placing our feet down, seeing if you can lift up your hips and maybe just wiggle them side to side a little bit, like massaging your hips. Good, great. And then we're gonna make our way up into a seated position. So come up to a seated position. You see she rolls over to the side and she comes up sitting. You can have a pillow under you also. Oh. And we're gonna do a preparation for giving birth. And if you have a partner, this is an exercise you could do with your partner. So Stephanie, you're gonna inhale here and lift your arms out to the side, as pretend that you're on an airplane. Then you're gonna make like thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up, like, and hands in, like, yeah, tummen up. And then you're gonna start making an A shape. You're gonna like twist your hand like an infinity sign, both of them on both sides. Good. You're gonna close your eyes, and we're gonna go into labor now, fake labor, because this might look like a very easy position. And in the beginning, as when you're giving birth, you feel like, I could actually do this. It's not as painful as they say it is, because that's usually how it starts. It starts kind of easy, and then it goes more and more intense. So I'm just gonna check. I have a clock there, and we're gonna stay here. And I don't know if you start to feel it. You start to feel it. It's getting intense. Okay, so then I want you to practice on what you're gonna do when you experience sweet pain when you give birth. Okay, remember to keep your breathing calm, quiet. Relax your face. Let go of your jaw. It's okay if you drool. It's okay if you look weird. Good. And then you're going to imagine that you're going to open up and you're going to let your body and the baby work together, and that you can do this. We are designed, women are designed, we can give birth. We can give birth. And you're going to breathe, and you're going to stay in your body. Good. Let's say we have come to peak, and we take a deep inhale. And you exhale, and we come down with your hands. And now the practice is to practice being in that break you have in between contractions. Thank you. I was like really looking for that word. So when you have the break in your contractions, you really want to just drop into your body, and you want to take one contraction at a time. Doesn't matter if you have 5 or 500, 5,000 in front of you. You take one at a time and you relax. Because, Stephanie, you might not like me as much after this, but we're going to practice one more contraction. We're going to inhale, arms up to an airplane, thumbs up, and you start that circling of the infinity sign. Good. And you stay with your breathing, so the breathing is very soft, okay? We don't want to trigger the nervous system. You can do this. Your body can do this. Oh, there was a little burp. Relax your jaw, relax your face. If you need to make a sound, you're welcome to make a sound. Just go into the lower register. I still can't really wrap my brain around that word. And we breathe slow. And you can do this. You can deliver a baby. Your body can do this. You stay in your body. Good. We're just going to take 10 more seconds, because if you think about a contraction, it's not as intense all the time. It goes into more intensity and then it drops off. So we take an inhale and you exhale and you come down. Good. So I still want Stephanie to like me, so we're not going to do this one more time. But this is definitely a pose that I recommend you to do, and you let your partner do it, and then you tell your partner the things you would like to hear when you are in labor, okay? So it's a great practice for both of you. Good. And from here, we have come to the end of our class. Time flies, and we're gonna just, Stephanie's gonna decide herself if she wants to end up in a seated position, if she wants to come lying down, or if she again wants to take that sweet, yummy goddess pose. You want to lie down?
Do you want it? Thank you.
No. So here's a familiar face. Thank you for letting us be here today, Rachel. And so when you're pregnant, Shavasana can look whichever way you want. I even tell students in my yoga classes, when they're pregnant, they can eat. They can go out. I actually had a woman, she was so nauseous all the time, so she had to eat constantly. And so she had snacks, yoga and snacks, totally okay. If you need to twinkle, if you need to pee, just push pause and you go. So here in Shavasana, you close your eyes, you come to a comfortable position. You let go of thinking about your breaths. You just leave that to your body again. And just feel how, even if you're not active in doing things for your baby is so well taken care of. Your body is designed to do this. Did you just poop? Yeah. So here, before we finish up, um, I'm actually gonna finish this class in Shavasana because I want you to stay here as long as you want, as long as you can. And I'm not going to give you an exercise or something to do or a meditation. I just want you to practice relaxing whenever you have the moment, because it's going to be a lot less time for that when you have a baby. And they say when the baby sleeps, try to sleep. And it's so true. So when you wrap up your own practice, just make sure that you go in and thank the baby for being there with you, and the world thanks you for making life. And thank you, Rachel, for letting us use your living room.